Just go check Facebook real quick. Awesome. Cool. So, hey, Facebook family, welcome to Whatever It Takes Wednesday. This is episode number 21. I got our mystery guest here on the show. That was a really cool idea, Keith. I really like that idea today. You didn't even mean to do that, but you're like, yeah, I don't really know if I like any of these profile pictures. Let's make it a mystery guest thing, and it turned out. I thought it actually turned out to be pretty cool that way. But anyway, guys, I just real quick, I just want to just talk about my friend Keith and how we've known each other for a while now, and just talk about what I know and like about you, Keith, real quick before I give you the floor and have you share some of your story. So me and Keith met in 2013. We've been friends ever since, and have had the privilege to kind of grow together over the years here. It's really we really have a special relationship. Keith's a family man. He's a man of God, like I put on the post. Entrepreneur, e-commerce expert, and we're gonna go right into his story. He's an awesome guy, and I'm happy to have you on the show, Keith. So thanks for being here. Just wanted to start out with gratitude.
Awesome. Thank you, Dan.
Awesome.
So you want me to go ahead and share them?
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and go into our first question here. And then on Facebook, family, just feel free to give us some love. Let us know you're here. Comment. You're friends with me or Keith or know us. Feel free to comment or say, just give us some love or whatever. But I'm going to start this out just asking Keith, just peeling back the layers of Keith. That's what I like to do. I like to peel back the layers of people, let you guys get to know Keith. So tell us, Keith, who is Keith Ritchie and where you're from, man?
I'm in Southern Ohio, married with 3 kids, 3 teenagers now. I started out, back in the day in the factory work, manufacturing fields, and always wanted to find, a way, to make money online. And it wasn't until I found out about eBay and drop shipping, and I got serious about it in June of 2014. And quit my job, went full time, and been building it ever since. So that's where I'm at.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So let's talk about what. So that was pretty quick. So let's talk a little bit about. So what do you do right now? Because I think it's funny sometimes with some of the online stuff. Like a lot of people don't understand it. So, what do you do anyway, Keith? Like, what do you tell people when people ask you what you do? I'm just curious what your response is.
E-commerce, e-commerce.
Pretty simple, huh?
Yeah, pretty simple. It's interesting to a lot of people, what we do. And hey, Michael, good to see you, man. Yeah, it's interesting to a lot of people what we do. We do it full time. People know we do it full time, and it's kind of hard to believe. There's always that negative thing towards making money online, right, these days, and it can be done. I started out just like anybody else with hardly any money or whatever, and just got to work. Didn't make any money for a long time, and then just once I got serious about it, that's when the game changed. So
yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's been awesome to see you stick it out here over the years. So hey, I'm proud to just give Keith some kudos here. Keith just hit 100K in sales on his 60-day report on his eBay store. So if you guys want to give him some love down there in the comment thread, we're here to celebrate. We're going to celebrate Keith, today for that. Keith also sells full time on Amazon. I think you do around 100K a month on Amazon too, right?
Yeah.
That's a month on there on eBay. It's your bi-monthly report pretty much.
Right.
So really cool, man. Really big numbers you've put up.
Thanks, Troy.
Yeah. Thanks, Troy. Thanks, man. So that's awesome, man. Yeah. Hey, feel free to ask any questions for Keith. While we're on here doing this. So I want to get into. Let's get into entrepreneurship and what made you fall in love with that idea? Like, was there a time Was there a time in your life, like where a particular thing happened? Like, was it something all the way back? There's no right or wrong answer to it. Just your.
I knew there had to be a better way. I knew it with everything in me. There had to be a better way than work 60 hours a week, 7 days a week or whatever. Then come around, get fired or laid off or whatever. That means, those kind of jobs, they like grind you down every time. Probably any job does. I don't know, but that's the field I was in. And I just remember making a decision. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it until I either fail miserably or succeed. So we're still working. It's every day you want to get a little bit better than you were the day before if possible. And just keep moving. What main products do you sell most? I sell a lot of home and garden, a lot of outdoor patio, that type of stuff. Seasonal.
Cool. Yeah, good question. Back to the entrepreneur question too. Like, what you working for somebody else. Tell me about that. Like, I don't think I've ever really asked you this before. All the years we've known each other. What's your experience with that? Like, with working for somebody else? Like, have you? Because you're making good money online, and people want to have what you have. But a lot of people have jobs like you used to have. Like, what was that like for you? And what?
All right, I got you. No, I remember the very last job I ever worked at. What I would do, you were allowed to have an MP3 player. So what I would do, I would be listening to the 4-Hour Work Week, Think and Grow Rich, whatever it was, to build up my mind, build up my confidence, right? And I'd literally be making plans of what I was going to do when I got home. When I very first started doing, e-commerce at the time, because once I quit, I had to pay the bills, right? It had to be legit. There was no, so working for someone else, I never really enjoyed it. I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes you get along with people, sometimes you don't. But no, it was never anything I enjoyed at all. So.
Yeah. Did you work for years? Like, I don't know your whole story before being an entrepreneur. Like, for me personally, like I really, it goes back. I think it goes back a little further than you. Did you work for somebody else, for another company, for years or something like that, or like?
Yeah. I worked for one company in particular. It was pre-2008, right? All the overtime you could get, pretty much. And, I thought at the time it was good money, but it was a lot of hours, a lot of sacrifice. Then 2008 came. You were lucky to get 40 hours. Different things like that happened. It's nothing. It's no one's fault but my own for putting myself in that predicament. Right? I didn't know better at the time. I'm into personal development, reading books and things like that. I know Dan's the same way, and that played a big part in pulling me out of the rat race. So.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's awesome. Yeah. I was curious about that because I didn't really know like your like too much about that side of you, because me and you always talked about our dreams, like we would be like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Like, what are we going to do next? Is this going to work? Is this going to work? Is this going to work? Always trying different things out, over these last few years, since 2013, since we've been connected, 4 years now. Yeah. That's time flies, right?
Yeah, it does. But yeah, I'm glad I met you. And I don't remember how we even met. I know it was on Facebook, but I don't know why we met. Do you?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly the way it went down either. I just know before we know it, we were buying into stuff that each other were doing.
Yeah.
and then it just went on from there. So here's a good question here, because a lot of people like to want to be successful online, or want to be successful as an entrepreneur, or want to be successful in general. I think this is something that I think is a really powerful part of it, is like what your DMO is like, what your daily rituals are like. Like, do you have any daily rituals? Like, is there anything you do when you first wake up in the morning that you do that you notice?
Are you talking personally?
There's no right or wrong answer for it. I mean, everybody's different. I'm just curious about you. Like,
I like to get up, read, work out, things like that. Then I go right to work. Then the DMO is typically making sure good listings are going out, any customer service, any of the business needs that need taken care of. I try to always prioritize what's most important the day before. That way I know what I'm getting into when I get to the office. So
Awesome, awesome. I like how you use that prioritize word. Like you're like, I try to make sure I prioritize, because that's one thing I notice about people, as they start making money full time online or full time in any business, they start to value their time more. The more money they make, the more they value their time. And, without prioritizing, it's going to be harder for you to make things happen, because you can't be stagnant, right? You got to make sure your DMO is pretty crisp. I like how you said you work out and read in the morning too. Is that like a Monday through Friday thing, or is it like 7 days a week? Like how's your flow?
It's typically 6. I typically slack off a little bit on Sunday, but yeah, you've got to also, one thing that can trip you up is working on the most important. I know I just said prioritize, but you come to the point where sometimes you think, should I outsource this? Why am I spending 3 hours editing these videos or doing different things? And that's just one thing I noticed about me. I know you're probably the same way in that regard, correct? You think you should outsource your time or outsource your time more?
Yeah, whatever I can do, absolutely. I'm always second guessing myself, and as far as the way that I'm spending my time, I'm like, should I be doing this? Like, I could get this done cheaper. I mean, if I was doing X, Y, Z, I'd be making 10 times more with my time that way. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? I'm sure you go through the same fight, because it's like, because if you get, like, the better you shape that, the better off you're going to be. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I like about e-commerce too, is, a lot of e-commerce guys that are successful end up outsourcing, and end up creating leverage that way, and I forget which guy said it. I think it might have been not Bill Gates. What's the other richest guy's name?
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett. Yeah, he was like, if you can't make money when you're sleeping, you're never going to get any leverage, and never going to get any leverage if you can't learn to make money while you sleep. And that's pretty much how you do it, by outsourcing, I think.
You'll work till you die is what it says, I think.
Yeah, awesome, man, awesome. So I got a good question here. I want to go right into this one. This is one of my favorite questions. If you had any advice, because you're the guy, man. Like you work for what you have. You have a good flow. You have a good income. Like, you can easily advise on this. Like, so if you had to go back, I like this question. I love this question. If you were able to go back in time and give yourself advice from when you first got started, like, what would it be? And like I said before, there's no right or wrong answer to this. It's just a matter of your perspective.
In e-commerce, when I first started that?
Yeah, we'll talk about it in your space. Yeah, in your space of e-commerce, sure.
Get serious. Get real, right? Don't treat it like a hobby. Learn from others. Go directly at the people that have what you want and get their advice. You'll be surprised at how many people will actually, maybe it's only a paragraph, maybe it's only a sentence, but like in Facebook Messenger or whatever, hit those people up and get your questions answered. And the better your question, the better your answer. But yeah, get serious. Reach out more. Reach out sooner and think bigger. Faster. So that's it.
Awesome. So don't hesitate. Don't wait. Is one. Reach out to mentors. That's another one too, right? Awesome. And so, is there any? I love that question, because a lot of people are thinking about, like, how it is for them to just be getting started, So just to kind of recap, you're saying you get a mentor, find a way to shortcut the information that you want to get, right? No. Take action, right? Take massive action.
Think bigger, faster.
Think bigger, faster. And you actually, kudos to you. You actually helped me with that too. With the 10x rule, recommending that helped me think bigger personally, So I thank you for that.
Yeah, I was just listening to that earlier. Pretty cool.
Go figure. So here's a question I like to ask all the time too, and it goes right into that a little bit. If you had a book that you would recommend to people, getting started as an entrepreneur or getting started in the e-commerce space, or a book or two what would it be?
I would say, firstly, the 4-hour work week. A lot of people say that, in this instance, but it made me think of, how easy outsourcing, right, is what I really fell in love with. Working online and outsourcing what you're doing to where you're only working, a short amount of hours per week, much less than 60 than what I was used to. So that one, and maybe a Tony Robbins. Is it Awaken the Giant Within? Is that the one?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one.
One or the other, yeah. Those were really, it was more the audio, not the book. But it really hit home with me and helped me think bigger. I mean, there's several, really. I could go on about these books.
Yeah. I like that you said the 4-hour work week. You're the first person that said that, and I've actually been listening to that in my car all week this week.
It's solid. The long audio.
But, yeah, I've been listening to it on audio. Yeah, I bought the audio. So cool, man. Cool, awesome book recommendation. So I'm actually going to drop that here in the comment thread here, even too. I'm not used to being able to do this. 4-hour work week. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I see we got a few live folks here. Feel free to ask any questions. If you catch this recording, same thing. You can always go back. I dropped that book recommendation right there in the comment thread. Too. I'll go ahead and even pin that post. Oh, cool, awesome. Yeah, so it's my first. It's our first Be Live TV use here. So here's a question here for you. Never mind, that's a different one. I've got all these notes from different people that have been on our show.
I've got one for you. All right.
Okay.
What gives you your drive? You have an incredible amount of driving.
That's funny. I'm not used to people coming on the show and throwing it back at me.
Everyone knows.
Yeah. Hey, good question. I'll go ahead and go right into it and answer it. I mean, my what gives me my drive is I'm just so gosh damn hungry, man. I'm hungry, man. Like I can't. I'm just hungry, man. I want to be massively successful. Like more than I want to breathe, man. Like I just want it, man. I want it so bad. And I plan on doing things. I plan on doing 10 times, 100 times more than what I'm doing right now. Like I have just massive goals, man. And I thank you for like introducing me to the 10X rule too. Like that definitely helped me expand my my goals. And I'm just hungry, man. I'm hungry. I mean, I'm just not built. I'm not built to work for somebody else and that just be the end goal. I mean, if I fell 100% on my face, I would do it for 6 weeks, maybe 12 weeks or something like that if I ever had to. But I'm hungry, man, and I got big goals, and I love creating. I love creating. So I think entrepreneurs are creators. They create things and they enjoy creating things. And I like creating new things that didn't exist yet, like thinking of things that didn't exist yet and then going out and creating them. And I'm passionate about that. It's just something that I'm really passionate about, and I love giving back. I love giving back too. It makes me feel fulfilled. Just like you, I've been in the e-commerce space, just as long as you have. And that's why I started coming out with information products, because I didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't really feel fulfilled, from my e-commerce businesses, like just my eBay store and Amazon store. Just didn't feel fulfilled, So that's one thing that drives me too is giving back and just helping other people have success. It just I get like a real high out of it. Like it's like my sport. It's like my hobby, or I wouldn't call it my hobby. I'd call it more like my sport. Some people like to watch basketball and football. Like I like entrepreneurship. I like to read about it. I like to study entrepreneurs. I like to talk to entrepreneurs every day. I just live and breathe it. And yeah, so I mean, to go off into, you know what? Hey,
This is a great
let
one.
me throw that right back at you, man. Like, what motivates you, man?
You know, I want to go out and buy my mom a nice new house, right? If something happens in the family, I want to be able to, whatever, come up with the money for the benefit or the bills. Or I've always wanted to, do things like that. My grandpa, he worked until he was really, really, really old. A lot of it was because he wanted to do it, have purpose in his life, in the older age. But it's, I don't get how people in that age span, 70, 80 years old, 65, whatever, they're only given a certain amount of money, and it's just barely enough to get by. Sometimes they can't even get by on it. So that was one of the things with me was my grandpa, my kids. I want to, provide for the family. It's just I don't ever want to go back to factory work again. Too, that's a major thing for me. Because I've seen it cave in. The stability, you think you have it one day and one day you don't. So it's definitely not for me, and it doesn't sound like it's for you either. There's more to it than that, but I don't want to go on and on. So I promise you there is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind too much. I like that. I like that too. I mean, I feel the same. I feel the same way too. Like, about this gives too. Right? Like giving back to my parents and being able to help your family more and things like that. I once heard somebody say, if you want to be able to help the poor, don't be one of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you can't help the poor if you're poor too. You know what I mean? And that's really stuck with me. You know what I mean? So, I think it's important to create wealth. You know what I mean? And especially if you want to make a difference, money only magnifies who you already are. So, if you're a good person, you're going to just do even better things. As you make more money. And I definitely see that. Definitely see that for you, for sure. So, and hey, and here's a little quick little shout out for Keith too. While we're on here, Keith is just finishing up his first information product, his first info course on how to actually get the same results as he has on eBay. So just wanted to put that out there too, and congratulate you on that. I know it's been a hard journey. It's like it starts taking away from your other work, and I just seen my other friend on here commenting on here, and I was talking to my friend Paul Hutchins. Just seen him like this video, and I was talking to him the other day too about creation. Sometimes creation takes away from marketing, or takes away, or it could take away a little bit from your DMO too, like from your daily method of operation or whatever else you're doing, So it's so you deserve credit because it's not easy to do that, because it definitely messes with your work pattern and everything like that. So tell us about that, about your coming out with your first course. Like, how's that process been for you, man?
It has been strenuous. It has been, well, you don't think there's that much that goes into a course, right? When you go into it. But when you want to give something quality, right, you need certain aspects of it in there. And it may be the little boring things every once in a while, and some things are huge. So a lot of the video editing, I did not think it would take that long. So that was it for me. Just the amount of time and total commitment to it took much longer than what I thought. But yeah, I basically show what I'm doing to get these results, what tools I'm using, how to get buyers to your listing. I mean, just a bunch of things that add up and get results. So just drop shipping on eBay.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And it's been cool to go along the ride here with you with it. It's been pretty cool, and I've seen what you put into it, and how you've really taken out the guesswork and everything like that, inside your course. So you definitely should be proud, man. So I got a funny question here for you. I like this one. This is a new question that I like to ask. Is there anything about you, man? Is there anything about Keith Ritchie that not too many people know about?
Probably.
Is that your answer?
No.
And anything. This is for fun. This one.
I love the UFC. I don't have no. I don't have,
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
that's what we have. Another thing we have in common, man. Action sports.
Yeah. You like to see a good fight, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on TV. I don't like to be out in the streets watching all that, but that's a difficult question, man.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. What do you think about the McGregor and Mayweather fight, man?
Oh, it will be funny to see. You know, I think Connor would be gassed really quick inside of 5 or 6 rounds before we pick him apart.
Yeah. I can only imagine. Like, you know, you're a UFC fighter and you're in a boxing ring. Like, it's gonna get like, you know, that it's just gonna. I think he's gonna get worn out because he's not gonna be used to that kind of fight.
Yeah, he's not going. I don't see it happening unless he got a miraculous knockout real quick. I don't know, but yeah. I don't really know, Dean. Honestly, there's several.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I appreciate even that one. A lot of people probably don't even know that about you, you know. So just nice to hear your story, you know, get to know you better, man.
Yeah, no problem.
You know, one thing I like about you, man, like with businessman, when you're all in, and like a lot of people get into e-commerce and they're like doing it from their home and stuff like that, and you're actually in your office in your warehouse that you actually have your own warehouse. I like that how you've going all in with your business.
And I tell you what, as soon as I did, the results pretty much doubled. I mean, I don't know what it was. I don't know if I got more serious. I don't know if I was taking bigger action. That's probably what it was, or a little bit of both. But
yeah, do you feel like you put a little bit more pressure on yourself by doing that?
I think so, subconsciously.
Yeah.
Because you know you have the rent payment that's over and above any other payment you already have plus utilities, so it's not cheap. But it makes, like I said, it will make you think bigger, and you can take, you know, obviously I can buy more products.
Yeah, you know that's interesting because that actually goes into something I heard Grant Cardone say. He said that he said you're not in business until your office is outside of your house.
I remember.
And my office is still in my house. You know, to be honest, you know what I mean. And I don't know, makes me think maybe I should go get some office space or something. Maybe I might take things more. Even more seriously or something. I'm not really sure.
When I signed that lease, I signed over that now, but I don't know. I said to myself, all right, you know, you have to get serious. This is extra bills, you know, you're going to have to pay. So yeah, it just made me straighten up. Not saying I wasn't serious before, but I was more serious now, right? And plus you know, you can do so much more with so much more room, you know. So that was it for me.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Awesome. So, what's your future plans, man? Where are you going from here, man? You're just getting ready to finish your course. Where's the future Keith Ritchie going? Anything in store for you?
Yeah. I'm going to finish this course. Help a lot of people. I'm also getting into private label. And, you know, for Amazon, eBay, Walmart, Jet, wherever. But I think the excitement is there to be able to come up with your very own name brand, right? Have a product made exactly how you want it, and then sell it, you know, and then possibly sell the brand, you know, things like that. So I'm always trying to, you know, think bigger than where I'm currently at. And with the eBay business, we're going to hire more. I use virtual assistants, Dan does too. And we're going to hire more. Well, not necessarily hire more in the short term, but definitely train them to do different things that need to be done in that part of the business. Give the eBay business more attention, per se, because the numbers we've hit, we really haven't even ramped it up. So I think we could do double with another lister, per se, on eBay.
Yeah, you know, that's interesting too. Like a lot of people probably think, I know you have lots of virtual assistants, but for your eBay goal to be celebrated on here, it's actually only one. It's only actually one virtual assistant for that part of the business, right?
Yeah, you have just one.
Yeah,
well, for the
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool because I bet you that was a question somebody was probably thinking too. Like, how many virtual assistants you have to do those numbers that you did and all. So, yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And yeah, so I'm testing out what you're doing now too, and looking forward to seeing what happens here in my own business as well. So
Cool,
pretty
yeah.
cool, pretty cool. So awesome, man, awesome. So I think I got all the questions that I'm not used to going through these questions so quick. I think it's because we're right here on video. It just seems like it's a little bit easier to go through a little bit.
How long has it been? Out of curiosity.
Just a half an hour. That's it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, probably feels like it's been like 5 minutes, probably, right? Because I just kept asking you questions.
Yeah, I don't have a clock in front of me.
So,
No.
hey, family, if you have any questions for Keith, go ahead and put them below. Make sure you guys hit the love button, hit the share button if you think this interview could have, brought some value to somebody else that's in the, in the e-commerce space. I'm probably going to share this. This video inside of my e-commerce groups. I own 3 or 4 of them. Probably as some inspiration. Being that Keith's, doing some pretty large numbers. I mean, between eBay and Amazon and Jet and everything, you're probably doing. I don't know. It looks like you're doing $150,000 to $200,000 a month in sales, like somewhere between there, right?
Yeah, it's in that range.
Yeah, it's safe to say, right? Even
But
estimating about 150.
yeah, I know people in the space doing like 10 times that. So you got to always keep your eye on the ball on where you want to be.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
Love that. Love how you were just humble. Like, yeah, well, you can always do bigger things. Before I close this up, I'm going to ask one more question, and then I'm going to ask one last question that I have. It's like one of my questions I like to ask at the end. What do you think? What do you think? Really made you take off with your business? What do you think? Was there if you think back, do you feel like there was ever a moment that really made you take off in your business? Because you were doing good in your business, but you really took off at one point somewhere along the line. It seems like to me. Do you think there was any?
I think.
What do you think caused you to really take off in your business?
Systems. Systemizing things, getting them down, making things easier, learning from others. But yeah, you're right. We did. We hit. We were going at a certain rate for a while, and then just,
Yeah, you were even up, back down a little bit, back up, down a little. You were going through the motions. You know what I mean? Because I watched you.
Outsourcing was a big help. Took a load off of me. I went from creating listings to working on my business. Right.
Yeah.
So much easier. Once we took that move, that bumped us up quite a bit. And then probably FBA. We started doing that, hitting that heavy. We learned how to do it. We got out of our comfort zone and just did it. Thanks to you. You're one of the persons that pushed me to do it. And so we got involved in that. And then we started taking eBay seriously again and outsourced it once again. And it's just been building momentum. And that's what it is, Dan. It's the compound effect, the slight edge, over time. Things done over time, you gain momentum after a while. They add up. So.
Yeah, I love that. I love how you touched on that, because that's that's the answer, too. It's just this not giving up. So did you have trouble letting go, with the outsourcing stuff? Because I know that's a question that people are going to be whether people are catching us live or people catch the replay. I know a lot of people usually catch this replay when I do these things. So I'm trying to think of questions that they might be thinking of. Did you have any trouble letting go? When it came to outsourcing, and if so, tell me about it.
Yeah, I don't want necessarily. I was always big on. I didn't want anyone else's hands in the pivotal parts of my business, listing products. Right, it's very important because you can screw that up. Different things, repricing or whatever. So it took me a long time to get over it, but I just saw so many of these other people succeeding on a much bigger level than I was with outsourcing. And they just kept telling me, you got to let go. What's going to happen, right? It's in the 4-hour work week. It talks about how rare it is for something to actually go bad when you outsource something, as long as the person's, trained correctly. There's a trust issue you have to get past, right? You learn to trust them. but yeah, that was it, man. Finally let go, and then it's just when someone can list for you, 10 to 20 items a day or whatever it is, that takes a huge load off, and then your income starts rising, as more products are listed, more sales come in. So it's a win-win all the way around, really.
Yeah. Would you agree?
Is that any base?
All of a sudden, do you hear that?
Yeah. My phone's off.
Oh, okay. I don't know if maybe my phone picked it up. That's going now. All right. Yeah. So would you agree that like that could be that's a big difference between smaller business and bigger business? Because I know a lot of people that are make six figure incomes, but they're afraid to outsource and they're actually afraid to hire people. Like, so they're still like a one man show. Then I see, this is an observation. I mean, it's not always like this, but then I see people that are doing a lot of outsourcing and stuff like that, and they're making multiple. They're taking home multiple six figure incomes. What's your opinion on that? Do you kind of agree with that, or as an observation?
I do. I don't know any really successful people that don't outsource some part of their jobs, of their businesses, right?
Yeah.
You got to grow. You got to grow. You got to hire talent, right?
Yeah. I think that's a good reminder for me too. Personally, just remembering that fact because of this leverage, because anybody can kick ass, work their ass off and go make a six figure income, if they really want it bad enough. But getting to that next level and creating that kind of leverage to have your take home be, a multiple six figure income instead of a six figure income. I think that's I can't think of the word I'm trying to think for it, but I think that's
good goal.
Yeah, I think that's could be a cause, could be a cause for it, to not happen, So yeah, so it's really cool that I think you're our first guest on the show that's a big outsourcer. So it's really cool to have you sharing on here, and I'm definitely grateful for you sharing your perspective and stuff like that. And it also not only does it help the viewers, it helps me too. It gives me I always like to say there's a higher awareness to information. So it's you hear stuff, you hear it, and you think you know it, but there's always a higher awareness, to it, and it's you just, having that awareness or having that reminder. Sometimes I don't know about if you agree with this or not, but I think sometimes we just forget things too. You hear things, it's true, but then it's you forget or you stop practicing it, in your business,
Right.
And,
I have several whiteboards. I think you do too. And then when I'm reading a book.
Yeah. What do you do to remember stuff?
You should see my whiteboards. I mean, I have notes, and I probably have 8 or 10 desktop notepads open where I just type in, So I'm not real organized in that regard.
But you're so you're kind of projecting your thoughts on the whiteboard all the time, though. Is that right?
Whatever jumps out at me. Oh man, this is really important.
Yeah. I get this I'm trying to figure out what Keith Ritchie's doing when no one's looking.
Write my goals. That's one thing I do. So yeah, I just translate things to whiteboards. Whiteboards and paper. Put thoughts on paper, and then plans come, out of those thoughts. So plans and goals. So it works.
Man, that is awesome, man. I'm going to actually put down in here in the comment thread, mystery guest is Keith Ritchie. So that way, if people want to get a hold of you. So here's a question. I always just one of the end of the show kind of questions that I usually ask. So what are some good ways for people to get a hold of you if they wanted to know more about what you do and that kind of thing? What do you have a common name through your social media channels?
I do.
Because this is going to be on Facebook. This is going to be on YouTube. It won't be on Instagram because Instagram's not big. You can't take a video longer than a minute. But,
we have a website and a Facebook group and a Facebook fan page. It's All Out E-commerce. You can reach me there.
alloutecommerce.com, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I'll make sure I drop that in the comment thread. You can feel free to drop that in there too. So, all right, cool, man, cool. So we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna keep it right here. We'll keep it tight right here where it's at. So the last thing I'm just gonna just ask you if you have any closing thoughts or words of encouragement to somebody like out there, that wants to make money online or start a business. If you had any words of encouragement, what would they be?
Well, if you're in that spot where you're doing a job or working with someone daily and you hate it, and you have a negative thing about making money online, get over it, because it is real. I know a lot of people that do it. You can do it. It's not always a scam. I'm sure there are bad opportunities out there, but whatever it is, find a real opportunity. Find someone that is doing what you want, making the money you want, and go all in. That's it.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Go all in. Burn the boats. Burn the bridges. You ever hear that saying?
Burn them.
Yeah, awesome, man. So, all right, so I'm gonna end this, with gratitude, man. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate it, man. And it's really cool doing this Be Live TV. This is the first time I got to experience this too, and I know it is for you too. Yeah. And I want to encourage those that catch us recording to feel free to drop any questions below in the comment thread, and to be sure to look Keith Ritchie up, through social media and get and connect with him, and send him some friend requests. He's I think he's open to that. Is that right, Keith?
Yeah, absolutely.
You open to taking new friends on Facebook? So awesome. So all right, so we're closing out. Whatever it takes Wednesday. Feel free to make sure you tune in to our next episode. If you catch us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. If you catch it on Facebook, I would set it to see first and the friends thing. That way, it's easier for you to catch our future episodes. And thank you again, Keith. And we're closing out.
Thank you.
Peace.